anybody agrees with anybody on everything. I'm sure but.
Okay.
All right, we're back up and running. It's Monday morning. It's Jenna Wolf Show. We have a special guest coming up at 3:30. I'll give you my same 3 hints. Super famous, super good looking, great body, actor. You know him from many different things. And he's good looking. That is literally all I'm going to say. And he follows me on Twitter. And that's why we love him. So, see if you can take a guess. And he's friends with Lance. We are going to dive into some headlines, but we already really discussed the big headlines, what's going on with our nation's immigration policy. I don't know if it's a policy quite yet, but I just came across a couple things that I thought were sort of interesting. But I say we start with, in no particular order, Lance's fascination and obsession with McDonald's.
Oh, did we get the
It's not a negative thing. He loves McDonald's. His daughter loves McDonald's. He made me eat some French fries from McDonald's, which turned out to be like my greatest Facebook post ever. Now I read that a bottle of Big Mac special sauce is going for $100,000 on eBay. What is special sauce? What does that mean? I honestly don't know.
No idea.
And where do they use it? Is that what they put on hamburgers?
Yeah, on the Big Mac.
Is it a secret what it is?
Yeah, I think so. It's like...
Oh, they're calling it the holy grail of sandwich toppings.
It is really... It's good. I think it's like mayonnaise based. It's like really fattening and good.
Most prospective buyers were not loving the highest prices, but several bottles were racking in bids of about $100 on Friday morning. The highest sale price so far was $125. The Burger Titan gave away 10,000 bottles of special sauce on Thursday, and many quickly listed them on eBay, of course, because that's what you do. Don't forget. Do you remember what the jingle was, Lance?
What was
for the Big Mac? 2 all
beef patties and a sausage, and a...
Okay, so you're so...
other pickles on a sesame seed bun.
2 all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese,
lettuce, cheese,
onions on a
sesame seed
bun. And that's the Big Mac?
That was the Big Mac.
Big Mac. Have you eaten the special sauce? Do you like it? You must have if you eaten it.
At some point, I probably did. I'd more go for the salad at McDonald's when I go.
Because of your stout figure?
Because you wanted me to not eat certain foods, right? So right. On the Jenna Wolf diet, I found that the salad helped me lose more weight.
You're right.
And I actually don't put any dressing on.
Good.
So
please.
Where do I get my? A lot of people ask. I always ask for extra tomatoes. I use tomatoes as salad dressing.
So what is it? Like a garden salad?
Garden salad with chicken.
Okay, and then you get extra tomatoes.
Extra tomatoes.
Love it.
Lettuce, tomatoes, and chicken.
It's literally the best thing in the world for you. Lance, pride. You see the pride I feel for you?
Yeah.
I have much pride for you.
Well, that's what I do when I go to McDonald's. I just eat.
Or you know what you could do, since they now serve breakfast all day?
They do serve breakfast all day, but I don't really go there for breakfast.
Right, but when you go to get your salad, have them put an egg on the salad.
Oh, eggs! Yeah, I can get an egg.
You know, from the egg McMuffin, but without the Mick and the.
Oh, you can get the egg. Like the egg is a plain egg that they serve.
I mean, it's made. I think they put it in that patty thing.
We should probably go eat one before we have everybody do it.
Yeah, I have to look into.
We'll look into that.
Just
in case.
And look, what a coincidence! There's a commercial for eggs on the TV just when I said that. These apps will revolutionize the way you do business. Do you need to do better business? Here we go. Ready? I'm going to give you the best apps for how you do business. Connor handed this to me and said you need to read this. Oh, are you heading into a meeting with executives you don't know much about? Don't worry. A company, that's the name of it, is an app that gives you the scoop by gathering information found on social media, social networks, and company filings, and then giving it right to your inbox. Do you think a company will have something on the Jenna Wolf Show?
There's somebody that would, for sure.
That's amazing. I love this. So the app is called A Company, and it gives you the scoop, and it gathers all this information that's found across social media and delivers to your... See if the Jenna Wolf Show is in A Company.
I thought that was an interesting one.
That is an awesome one. Do you want to know if you're being paid fairly and if your benefits and perks are up to par? The app Comparably shows you what people like you get paid at work. Go on to Comparably and see if anyone else doing the Jenna Wolf Show is getting paid more than me. Get on that. Lance, if I find out you've been making more than me, I swear to God,
What
you
about
have
if
no
I'm
idea.
losing more than
No, that's fine.
you?
Next one. You know that you should meditate, but who has the time? So
Me.
I don't. So the app Simple Habit provides 5-minute meditations you can do in between meetings, on the train, or in a bathroom stall. That's
Have you
gross.
gotten far in Shinari's book?
No, of course not.
Okay, so
Each
Shinari's
meditation-
book actually,
Yeah.
in Shinari's book, what he would let you sort of do is that everything should be a Zen experience, so that when you're on the Jenna Wolfe show for 4 hours, if you achieve what you should through the book, you would actually view the Jenna Wolfe show the way I do, as a Zen-like experience, which is almost akin to meditation. So when I'm
Zen,
here,
baby.
when I'm here listening to you, it's almost Zen-like for me. It's this passive, nice.
So Zen is so
Therapeutic.
Shinari was talking about sarcasm. Or you really mean it?
I really mean
Oh, wow.
it.
Anyway, if you need an app to help you with that, if we're not like Lance who can do it on our own, Simple Habit is the app. 2 more. 1, if your job barely pays your bills, get a side hustle, something you do for 4 to 5 hours a week that could pay you anywhere from $700 to $3,000 a month. It's called Side Hustle School. It's free daily podcast full of stories about part-time gigs. Like one guy makes $700 a month writing fish tank reviews. One woman who runs an Airbnb for dogs gets $200 a day. So it's called Side Hustle School. Check it out. Maybe you can make some money on the side. And last but not least, if you want to know how you're coming across your coworkers, you could schedule an All About Me meeting and hope your colleagues have the time to show up and the guts to tell you the honest truth. The app is called Candor Gauge. The app allows people to learn how their feedback lands. Here's how it works. So you invite the people you give feedback to most often to rate you. So like I would invite Lance, and Lance would be asked to tap one of 4 buttons to show how Lance feels about my praise or my criticism that week. And then the app offers specific tips for improvement. It just might boost your appeal around the water cooler. Okay, so first I love the app, the first one, Accompany. It'll give you all the information that's been out there on social media about a specific. You know what, Connor? This is good stuff for when we have a sponsor in or a guest that I could, all 5 of these apps to learn more about the people that are coming in, but especially Accompany.
Right.
I love this. This actually turned out to be really, really cool.
Okay.
Very cool. Last but not least, if anybody's knee-deep in reading famous, traditionally lovely books to their children and you want to know a little bit about where some of them came from, for example, Goodnight Moon, Goodnight Moon, Goodnight Moon, Goodnight Cow jumping over the moon, Goodnight Stars, Goodnight Bars, Goodnight Chairs, Goodnight
Goodnight,
Bears, Goodnight Kittens everywhere. Like when I first read it, I said, this is the most horrible book I've ever read in my life. Like, no what is this? Like, what? Hello table, hello window, make me $1 million. Guess what? My kids are obsessed with that book. Goodnight Moon has now become an obsession in my house, so I take it back. I was completely wrong. Anyway, Goodnight Moon's characters were almost human. But then you wouldn't have Goodnight Mush, Goodnight Tush, Goodnight Old Lady who was whispering hush. What else? The idea for Charlotte's Web came from E.B. White's fascination with spiders in his own home. I did not know that. The steps taken by Alice and Alice Through the Looking Glass. Remember those steps? They were made up by a playable game of chess. That's how they came up with it. I'm literally reading some of this is the first time. Chronicles of Narnia. I never got that far. Connor, did you see any other really good ones here? Bridge to Terabithia.
I mean, I just recognize some of those books, like the Caterpillar one.
I know, that was really cool. I don't know how many of you know this. Green Eggs and Ham was the result of a bet.
Yeah.
Publisher Bennett Cerf bet Theodore Seuss, Dr. Seuss, that Dr. Seuss couldn't write a book using only 50 words. Dr. Seuss did, and he won $50. He wrote Green Eggs and Ham in 50 words.
50 words.
How cool is that? And then the other one that was really true. The Giving Tree almost wasn't published, as editors didn't believe it would resonate with readers of any age. Now, I will tell you that I can't read that book. I am emotionally scarred from that book. I cry every single time it is read. I don't want to read it to my kids. Like, it's
Ironically, it resonates with somebody of every age.
of course, that's the irony. And then, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. I can't even get into it. You know the book, The Hungry Caterpillar? There's like a little caterpillar hole in every single book. Well, you know how that came about?
No.
Listen to this. The author, Eric Carl, says, one day I was punching holes with a hole puncher into a stack of paper and I thought of a bookworm. As such, the author originally named the story A Week with Willie the Worm before his editor had suggested Caterpillar instead. All very interesting. I love to know where stuff that is now super, super famous comes about. Yes.
That was good.
Tell me, what are people saying? Let's get a few comments.
We're saying just people are into that. But what's your favorite childhood book for the kids?
That I'm reading to the children?
Yeah,
I mean, the girls love Madeline, but they love Piggy and Gerald. So, like, Piggy broke his trunk, Gerald, the elephant and Piggy.
Oh, no.
By Mo Williams. They love that series.
Remember Mercer Mayer? My kids used to be into Mercer Mayer. Had like these.
Curious George. We're also big on Curious George in our house. I don't know Mercer Mayer. Who else?
You get there.
You get there, and I can't wait to get into a few more complex stories with Harper.
Somebody is asking, Wayne B. Sims wants to know, why don't you do sports anymore? You just did sports on Friday.
We do sports once a week. I did sports. I love doing sports. So in my life, I'm going to be honest with you. In my life, I as someone who has a relatively short attention span, and by short I mean a couple years at a time, I like to do different things that tickle my fancy, that I want to try, that I have yet to perfect, that I have yet to, seek out. So doing sports was one of them. And I did sports for 12 years. And by the time I was done, I was done. I covered everything there was to cover. I interviewed everyone there was to interview. I'd watched every game there was to watch. And then it was time to move on. So I went to the Today Show. And the Today Show for 8.5, 9 years awarded me the most unbelievable opportunities to do the coolest things in the world and meet the neatest people and try the most interesting things. I was able to work with fascinating people and tell amazing stories. And it was lovely and so ridiculously cool. And then it was time for me to try radio. So I went and I did radio for a while. And then it was time for me to write a book. So I wrote a book. Then it was time for me to go and try something new that was untapped, like this social media show. So I'm doing this now. I want to get to the end of my life and say, you know what? I never said no to anything. I tried everything, and some of them worked and some of them didn't work. But at least I can say that I gave it all a try. And I'm convinced this is going to work. I love this show. I love this platform. I love being able to talk to you guys. I love the instant feedback that I could say, hey, ask me a question, you ask it, I answer it, and you go off on your merry day knowing I answered your question. That's really cool. You don't get that with television. And however this transforms over the next year or two will be really interesting to see. But we are giving it as much of an effort as we possibly can. We got sponsors. We have guests. We have a really cool guest coming up at 3:30 today. So it's all good.
We have a great host.
Thank you.
Michelle Hicks says, in the words of Lance McDonald's, is your naughty place. Oh, well. Seetha Hill 23 says, hi.
Hi. Who is that? Seeth?
Seeth, yeah.
Seith?
Seth A. Hill 23 says, hi. A. Doozer 23 says, what is a good dressing, oil or balsamic?
Oil and balsamic. Nothing wrong with a lot.
Ahmed Farrow says, what about red wine vinegar?
Yes, delicious with a little lemon.
Mary Cole says, I love watching you.
Thanks, Mary.
Karen Bayer Hartlow says, sure miss you on the Today.
Here I am.
Joseph Drake says, hello, Jenna.
Hi, Joseph.
Denise Estachi says, what are you doing now?
This is it. Every day, 4 hours.
11 till 3. 11 a.m. to 3 Eastern Time. And that is our segment. Do you have more headlines? Or?
No, that's it. I don't think you want to dive back into politics.
Me?
No,
I never want to do politics.
I know, but people sometimes want to hear what's happening. So.
Yeah, so, I mean...
All right, so...
Most people, what they should be doing is coming here 11 to 3 and talking about the world, whatever they want. All right, so we're going to...
We're going to break. We're going to come back and do the dining segment, or I'm going to show Connor a quick move so we can get our blood flowing.
All right, we'll be back in a minute. 1 second. Michelle Hicks says, ha ha ha, I don't miss you in the Today Show because this is way better. Thought I would be the first to say this.
Thank you, Michelle.
We'll be back in a minute.
You got them all off already?
I didn't get anything off. I just wanted to take a photo.
you say?
starting
How
to
do you
go
feel?
off. We're starting to go off, Jenna.
How do you feel?
Good. For the workout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a workout. I thought
Yeah,
you were
no.
balancing.
I'm
Let me
ready.
see if I can even do it. It was changed.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Just-